take a look at this plant again this year. Last year I only found one of this plant in my garden, and this year look at all of them here, and look at the lantern, and to me those are the same type of plant, and it's got lots of lantern, Chinese lantern like fruits or tomatillo. And let me get a better shot of the flower. Sometimes the flower, it must be because of the cloud. It's very cloudy today. The color of the flower are not what they look like whenever it's really sunny, but that's what the flower looks like. I'm trying to get a good shot of it if I can. See what it looks like, the bloom of it. That's the way the blooms looks like, and it would have a tiny little lantern like fruit like that. According to my research, these are ground cherries, which I'm not very familiar with, and I have so much of them growing all over my garden. And as you can see, they are loaded with fruit. They're starting to fruit here, and all these flowers. And let me show you what the flower look like when they bloom. So again, I would have a nice heirloom tomato that looks is slightly different than the rest. But as you can see, all this heavy rain, on and off rain for the last few days, look at what it did to my tomato, as you can see. And the bugs took over before I can harvest it. But otherwise, this would have been a really nice and exceptional Brandywine tomato right here. I don't have my scale. The way it feels is over a pound right there. I always enjoy vegetables or any plants that grew voluntarily. And as you know, this here is my blueberry bush. Now, I was wondering what's happening with my blueberry bush, but when I took a good look at it and pushed the nettings aside, this is what I discovered. Look, all of that. That's clumps of tomatoes. I mean, it's got clumps and clumps of tomatoes. This one I can't even look. I don't want to pull it and wind up breaking it, but it's tight in there. That's a whole big clump of tomatoes as well. Right there. Down there. Bring it up. As you can see, clumps of tomatoes there. And there, and it's weighing down. There's some more over there, and more clumps down there. And from the look of this, here goes another clumps of tomatoes. This is either, I don't know, I can't really recognize the type of tomato this is, but it's got lots of fruit, and it just grew here voluntarily with my blueberry bush. I don't know if anyone could recognize what type of tomato this is. Maybe Homestead, and it's still got lots of flowers. You see all the blooms in there? Could be Homestead, or I forgot the other one that I used to grow in the past right there. Lots of still lots of blooms right there, and inside it's still blooming, so it's not done bearing fruits. Rutger, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. It could be a Rutger tomato, which I love growing for the winter. So I will make sure I take care of this volunteer tomato seeds. I could get some seeds and keep the seeds from it. Look at how, oh wow, I didn't even realize it's getting, see that clumps, Daddy?
Beautiful.
It comes in clumps, so it could be Rutger or homestead tomatoes. A volunteer tomatoes, yeah. It just, well, you can't hardly see the blueberries anymore. It just is leaning over the blueberry. That's okay. We need to keep the blueberry bush low anyway.